Transformers brought me headfirst into the world of comic books. Ever since reading those first few issues of Transformers Skybound, I knew that I had to make at least one video covering my thoughts on the series. But that one single video from that single comic ballooned into something so much bigger than I ever could have dreamed of. And now, 20,000 subscribers later, and 1 year of making videos in, I've fallen deep in love with comics altogether, collecting so many series outside of the Transformers franchise. This newfound love of comics made me want to revisit all the older Transformers comics that I read in the past, from the original Marvel issues to IDW, but even something a little bit stranger and simpler that I've never read in my life. You see, back in the mid to late 80s, Transformers was just starting to ramp up in popularity. Toys were flying off the shelf, kids were watching the Generation 1 cartoon at home, the Marvel UK and US comics were in readers' hands. But there was another comic available that I feel like no one talks about. Literature that takes the jank of Generation 1 and adapts it in a perfect way. That is, Transformers Sticker Adventures. Alright, I know what you're gonna say. Delta, these are not comics. They are picture books that came with some stickers and asked young readers to color in the lines of the characters and items on the page. And yes, that's true. But I mean, comics are books with pictures in them, aren't they? And technically, you could add stickers and color in your own ideas into these modern-day comic books as well. Look, we can discuss this aspect later in the video. For now, let's just cover these books in detail, okay? Revenge of the Decepticons is the first book in the series, written by Susan Wayne, with art by Charles Nicholas, the former of which also worked on various Generation 1 coloring books that look and feel almost identical to these sticker books. The story starts off with the Autobots beating their deadly foes in battle, as Gears exclaims,
"Let me at 'em, Optimus Prime! I'll smash them into tin cans!"
Instead of Optimus responding though, Hound speaks up, and calls Gears, cliff jumper. Oh wait, why is Hound blue here? Huh. Well, the next page, we see Windcharger speaking to Gears. Oh, wait, hold on a second. I guess this is Huffer now? Okay, wait. Oh, on the next page, we have Bumblebee. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Now he kind of looks like Cliffjumper. Depending on how you color him in, he works with Brawn to repair the Ark. As we are told, the Autobots hope to return home one day. On the next page, we see... Oh, God. Already these books are freaking me out. Oh, okay. Optimus takes Mr. Sparkplug for a ride to find additional parts for the Ark, not before being told to check the air in his tires by everyone's favorite gas station attendant, Prowl. But soon after, Brawn finds out that their gas supply has been stolen. Oh wait, no. B and Sideswipe are calling him Gears now. My bad. It turns out that Megatron has utilized the quiet and stealthy Ravage to steal the Autobots' gas. Ravage, who is comically large on this panel, even speaks up and says,
"They don't call me the Cat for nothing!"
Okay, I'm not sure anyone was really calling him a cat, but that's fine. Windcharger steps up to the plate as the fastest Autobot on base and speeds out to find the stolen gas, but the Decepticons are approaching before much ground can be covered. Windcharger, Hound, Huffer, and whoever this is now, are being attacked from the air. Without any gas in their tanks, the Autobots are sitting ducks. Energon, you ask? No. They need straight gas. And straight gas is what they get when Optimus and Mr. Sparkplug return from the field with barrels of energy. Prowl tells his men to drink deep as they have a battle to win while the Decepticon Seekers and even Laserbeak soar nearby. Megatron looks hilarious as he waves his fist in the air, telling his men to retreat as the newly filled Autobots are just too powerful. The battle is won, and the Autobots celebrate their newest victory over tyranny and the theft of gasoline. Alright, so I think we all get the point of these books now. These are not very literate, heavy stories that require a lot of thinking or attention. They really are just a delivery device for kids to place stickers and color in their favorite Transformers on the page. The inconsistencies of the characters rival even that of the Generation 1 cartoon, which adds so much authenticity to it in my opinion. These stories aren't Eisner winners like Skybound, but I still love them for their goofy mistakes and strange panels, like Optimus driving off with his head out, something which we actually see Daniel Warren Johnson drive in the Skybound comics. So, sorry, but Charles Nicholas did it first. Return to Cybertron is the second book in the series, written and drawn by the same artist from Revenge of the Decepticons. Optimus and his helper, Prowl, I guess he got a raise after being a gas station attendant, charter a path back to Cybertron from a mysterious ship. Sparkplug, no longer a mister, helps prepare this ship that will be able to send only one Autobot home in order to help them find their way back to Cybertron. Sparkplug mentions that Earth is a nice place to live, and so, of course, in a children's book, Optimus proceeds to lore dump all of his PTSD from the Cybertronian War on a poor human who's only trying to help. My God. The story unfolds as we all know. The Autobots and Decepticons crash land on Earth and are awoken centuries later, bringing their conflict to humankind. But the Decepticons attack and interrupt this story time with an amazing line from Thundercracker when he calls himself a
beautiful mechanical bird of the sky,
as if the Autobots would confuse him with something like a penguin. But Optimus is shot down, and surely doom is upon the Autobots. Well, as Optimus awakens, he's horrified to see that all of his brothers have been completely smashed from the battle, as he races to the spaceship to return home. And return home he does, or so he thinks. Cybertron is now a military-governed planet, and the Decepticons are the leading power. In a dark alleyway, Optimus hides from the cops and talks to an ancient Autobot beggar who explains how Cybertron fell. But the cops show up and just shoot Optimus without any due process or even reading him his rights. So typical. Optimus wakes up with a fright. Bumblebee, Ratchet, and gas station attendant Prowl are by his side. You see, when Optimus was hit in battle, he had what humans call a dream, and thought that Cybertron was surely lost. Thankfully, now repaired, he can continue to work on the Ark with Sparkplug so that they can really go home alongside Bumblebee and Is that Soundwave? Is that Soundwave? Oh my God. Maybe it's best to move on to book 3, titled Battle on the Junk Planet. This book is written by Nancy Krulak with art by Brad Joyce, and generally speaking acts as an adaptation of the Junkion planet scenes from the Transformers movie. But please do not try and compare these scene to scene, seriously. RC, Blur, Perceptor, and Springer travel through space studying the universe. Don't ask me why Springer looks like that. Believe me, it will only get worse. A meteor hits their ship, and an emergency landing is made on the planet Junkion. Although the book only calls it the Junk Planet, but you get what I'm saying here. Blur transforms to take a look around. And while the art itself is a little confusing at first, I do appreciate the attempt to show off the transformation of a character. The Junk Planet is full of spare parts, as Springer, still with that face, and RC help Perceptor repair the ship's engines. Meanwhile, Blur is observed by the disembodied heads of some local Junkions. Funnily enough, the Junkions do kind of speak in their TV talk from the movie, as they discuss who will get Blur's engine when they murder him. When they murder him. Springer jumps into action, though, and fights back against Wreck-Gar, who... I'm sorry, hold on. What does that say there?
But Wreck-Gar becomes his motorcycle, and his motorcycle transforms into Wreck-Gar.
Yeah. Nothing could get any more wild than... Oh my God! Hot Rod has glasses on, and he's talking to Cup? What? Wait, hold on a second. Why is Cup that color? Okay, despite that issue, Cup gives off the Autobot universal greeting, not the universal greeting. This is the Autobot universal greeting, which is shorter than the actual one used in the movie. And then Wreck-Gar says, "Kimosabi, baby, you're the greatest?" And Hot Rod responds with, "Holy cow?" Oh my god, this is so wild. But the Autobots head off to their next adventure as the Junkions wave goodbye to their new friends. Yeah, that doesn't really look like a wave to me. How could this series get any weirder? Well, sadly, there's not currently an online PDF copy for the fourth and final sticker book, named Galvatron Attacks. And no, I don't mean Galvatron's Air Attack, which is a different book altogether. This book is written by Pat Briganti with art from Roy Richardson. And while I could buy this book very cheaply to give you a glimpse of the pages, the shipping time was just not something I was willing to wait for when making this video. TF Wiki does do a good job of summarizing the story and its errors, which are as follows.
After viewing the damage sustained by Decepticons during a fierce battle with the Autobots, Galvatron vows they will pay dearly. 2 days later, a giant explosion rocks the Autobot city called Metroplex. The Autobots hurry out to investigate and find Dirge attacking the water tower, trying to flood the city. Swoop stops Dirge by dropping a missile on him. This makes Galvatron even angrier, and he instructs Bone Crusher to destroy a nearby human bridge. Springer blasts the Constructicon and holds up the damaged bridge to save the humans. Galvatron realizes the Decepticons have been defeated, and they retreat once more.
As for the known errors, we see that a Ramjet sticker shows him with white wings. Shown from behind, Hot Rod's back is drawn identical to his front. While most characters are mostly based on the cartoon models, Beachcomber is drawn to match his toy. Interesting. Galvatron is gray on the cover, but each sticker features him with the purple color used in the cartoon. Yep, I can understand how that one happened. And Blur is shown off shooting a laser from the crest of his head. Wonderful. Fantastic. So here we are at the end of this journey. The Transformers sticker adventure books are really fun to read, primarily because of their wild inconsistencies and oddities. But it's almost endearing that even these books have the same level of strangeness the Generation 1 cartoon did have at the time. Transformers was a hot product during this time period, and animation model errors as well as toy errors were the norm, as companies tried to push as many products out the door. It's only likely that there will be a few mishaps along the way, but again, these books, like the cartoon, have a charm to them and their rushed nature. Springer's face is horrifying, but some of my favorite panels have to be Hot Rod with his crazy eyes, Optimus's head popping out of his cab as gas station attendant Prowl reminds him to check his tire pressure, and of course,
but Wreck-Gar becomes his motorcycle, and his motorcycle transforms into Wreck-Gar.
I'm not here to make fun of the writers or the artists of these books. In fact, I find their work to be really great. I don't blame them for the names being wrong or even the colors of the characters being off. After all, if there's not an accompanying sticker, you get to color these characters however you want, and that's always something fun to do. Hey, Skybound, can we get some coloring books for Transformers anytime soon? I'd love to try my hand at coloring Cup correctly. I don't think I'd be able to. Alongside the artist, I want to also draw attention to Steve O's Transformer book archive, which has been linked down in the description. It's thanks to this guy and his website that I was able to talk about these books and their place in Transformers history. If you're curious about some more of the Generation 1 literature, check out his website and get to reading. He's got a lot of PDFs available, including some amazing Find Your Fate books, which act as junior novels written in the style of a choose-your-own-adventure RPG. Additionally, there's even a full collection of the Lady Bird Jr. novels, alongside the original audiobook recordings that came with them back in the late 80s. This is where we get some truly righteous novel covers like Optimus with the words Autobot Hostage and whatever the hell this is. It's awesome to have sites like these dedicated to collecting and chronicling old media from the franchise we love so much, so Thank you, Steve-O Stonebreaker, and thank you to all the writers and artists who made these sticker books. I had a great time talking about them, and if you want to go ahead and put a comment down below saying that, hey Delta, these do not count as comics, you need to change the name of your video to something other than the Strangest TF Comics, then my answer is no. I like the title, and I like the thumbnail. I'll see you guys later.